Good morning, third grade. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to language. I've got a busy board behind me. We're going to be learning about today 4 kinds of sentences. The sentences that we either put periods after, question marks, exclamation points, and this one is period or exclamation point, it could be, okay? And so we're going to be on page 277, 278. So you can get that out, but before we even start, I want to kind of teach you this little song that Miss Evans taught me. It's not really a song, it's more like a chant. But it helps us to remember the new names. So we've done types of sentences. You did it in 2nd grade, we did it at the beginning of 3rd grade, where we know whether to put a question mark or a period, right? And so we called them different names though at the beginning of the year. So we either called them a telling sentence, if you remember that. Telling sentences, they give us information. They just make a statement. They just say something, right? Usually they're the answers to questions, right? How old are you? I am 9 years old. My mom is a teacher. You know, what does your mom do? Oh, my mom is a teacher, right? So telling sentences are things that we say all the time. This is our most common one. Okay, we also learned about sentences that ask questions, right? We put a question mark after them. We learned about commands, like when someone tells you to do something, right? Wash the car, clean your room, close the door, those kind of things. And then we learned about sentences that show excitement, like when you're like, wow, I love that, or look at that, or watch out, right? And those all need exclamation points at the end. Well, we're going to learn some new names, okay? So our first new name is for telling is declarative, okay? So this is my little chant for it. So I go, I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, statement, declarative, statement. So at home, when I point to you, you got to be yelling it, right, at your TV, okay? So here we go. I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, declarative. Are you saying statement when I hit my hand? Okay, let's do it again. I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, declarative. All right, I hope you were saying statement every time I hit. So it goes, I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, statement, declarative, statement. Okay, just to help us get it in our heads. So what's a statement? Declarative, right. Declaratives, they declare things. They make a statement, they tell us something, okay? All right, our next one we're gonna learn is interrogative. Interrogative is the same thing as question. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I say interrogative, you say question. Because we're like, huh, what? Okay. I say declarative, you say question, declarative, declarative. Are you saying question when I do this? Okay, let me do one with you. I'll say it, and the last one I won't. Okay. I say, oh, did I say declarative? I think I made a mistake. Miss Roach's brain is going too fast. Okay, I say interrogative. I'm not sure if I said that right the first time. Okay, I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, question, interrogative, question. Okay, let's do it again, because I think I did mess up on that first one. Okay, I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, interrogative. Good job. Okay, so interrogative asks a question, right? Huh? What? What are you talking about, right? Okay, so it could be like, how old are you? What is your name? Now look at all of these red words that I wrote for interrogative. Who, what, when, where, why, how, can, may, did, should, could, will, do. I want to see if you can come up with more. If you need to zoom in here, pinch your screen bigger if you can. See how many words you can come up with that start questions. Who are you? What is your name? When will we go? Where is your house? Why are you wearing that? How did you learn to do that? Can you ride a bike? May I come to your house? Did you do your homework? Should I plant a flower? Would you do it for me? Could you give me a hug? Will you open the door for me? Do you like school? See how all of those words ask questions? If you know the first word is a question word, you don't even have to read the rest of the sentence. If it starts with one of these guys, it's automatically interrogative. Okay, so let's practice the first two, okay? Declarative and interrogative. Okay, so remember with declarative, you say statement. With interrogative, you say question. Okay, here we go. I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, declarative. All right, now let's do interrogative. I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, interrogative. Okay, all right, now we're gonna learn commands. Commands tell us what to do. They order us around, okay? Or I should say a request, right? Because sometimes I'll say, please get your books open. But technically that's a command. It starts with an action, get your books open, right? Or please open your books. Open is the action there. We don't always have to say please in front of it, right? So some people just say, clean your room, empty the trash, do your homework, right? But, ooh, I just broke my rule. Did you hear me say do your homework? That started with do, and that's not a question, do your homework, but I could make it a question if I say, do you want to go to the park with me? Do you have any pets? Right? Okay, so I take that back. Don't just look at the first word, read the sentence and make sure. I'm thinking most of them are that rule, but that's kind of good. See, God, I like when God does that. He like shows me something. Wait, Miss Roach, don't mix up the kids. Okay, all right. So on this one with command, I'm gonna say the new word imperative. Everyone say imperative. Imperative. I'm gonna say imperative, you're gonna go command, and you're gonna point because you're like ordering someone to do something. Okay, so I'll say, I say imperative, you say command. Imperative, imperative. All right, let's do it one more time. I'll say the command part too to make sure you get this. Okay, ready? I say imperative, you say command. Imperative, command, imperative, command. All right? Okay, now our last one shows excitement or strong feelings. That, look at Miss Roach, wrote the wrong thing. I'm like, we can't have imperative again. You can tell Miss Roach is not on top of her game this morning. Okay. Does anyone want to guess what our word is? Maybe you saw it in your book. Exclamatory. Exclamatory. Okay, fit it in. All right, silly Mrs. Roach. Okay, going too fast. All right, so our final fourth sentence, type of sentence, is exclamatory, okay? Exclamatory shows excitement. Wow, that's amazing. Now I put this one on purpose because it's a little bit tricky. They throw a lot of these into our book. I think it's kind of to confuse us. But I mean, it's good to know that we know this rule. But if someone's talking kind of old-fashioned, like, what a wonderful day it is. How lovely to see you. What a wonderful shirt you're wearing, right? We don't really talk like that anymore. We might say, like, that's a really nice shirt. But I usually don't say, how wonderful it is you're wearing that shirt. So if a sentence starts with how or what, so like this one is, what a beautiful butterfly that is. I probably would just say, wow, that's a beautiful butterfly. Or, oh my, look at that butterfly. I probably wouldn't say, what a beautiful butterfly that is, right? Now look up here too. Oh, see, and this is good. See, Ms. Roach is finding all the rule breakers. If a sentence starts with how or what, and it's not asking a question. So if I said like, how lovely it is to see you. What a nice shirt you're wearing. I didn't ask you what kind of shirt you're wearing. or how come you're here, how come you're coming to the school, right? I'm saying how nice it is to see you. I'm making, it's almost like a statement, right? But I see how I'm kind of saying it with excitement. How nice to see you. Or a strong feeling, right? Like, what a wonderful hat that is you're wearing. It's like getting me all excited and happy. Okay, so if it starts with what or how, and it's not asking a question, then it's going to be exclamatory. But most exclamatory sentences are obvious. They're like, look out, something's, gonna fall on you. Or wow, or something like that. Oh my. They'll have these little phrases at the front that give it away. Okay, so for this last one, our little chant, then we're gonna put them all together. So see if you can remember them all. Okay, so for our last chant for exclamatory, I'm gonna say, I say exclamatory, you say feeling, because we're like excited. We have all these feelings, feeling, okay? So I say exclamatory, you say feeling, exclamatory, feeling, exclamatory, feeling, and you gotta shake your hands, okay? All right, let's do it one more time. I say exclamatory, you say feeling, exclamatory, exclamatory. Okay, are you ready to put all four together? Okay, remember with declarative, I say declarative, you say statement, good. I say interrogative, you say question. I say imperative, you say command. And the last one, I say exclamatory, you say feeling. Okay, so here we go. See if Ms. Roach can do it and not make a mistake. All right, here we go. I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, declarative. Okay, I say, next, interrogative. I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, interrogative. All right, next one, imperative. I say imperative, you say command, imperative, imperative. All right, last one. I say exclamatory, you say feeling, I guess I should say it. I say exclamatory, you say feeling, exclamatory, exclamatory. Okay, good job, you guys. Miss Roach is being a goofball today. Okay, so we're gonna get our paper out. We're gonna try to remember all of these little tricks to kind of help us. And I'm gonna work with you along the way. And then the back, we're gonna see if you can try doing some of these by yourself. Now, sometimes I think, oh, this is an easy lesson. But a lot of times it's tricky. I feel like it should be easy, like finding a question or finding an exclamatory or finding a command. But a lot of times kids just want to put periods after everything, or they think everything's a question. So we need to look at them really carefully and see and kind of break the sentences down, okay? All right, so here we go. I am gonna make sure we're on the right page on our iPad. I feel like I'm getting a workout with that today. Huffing and puffing. Okay. Share my screen. Where are we at? Are you working? Yes, we are. Okay. All right. So these are our 4 types of sentences with our new names. They give us a little code at the top. And so this is our little thing that we're going to look at to help us remember. So they say telling. I use the phrase statement in my little song. I say declarative, you say statement, but it's the same, telling, making a statement. All right. And then they break it down with abbreviating it with just DEC. DEC stands for declarative. Interrogative asks question, and they abbreviate it with INT, the little period. Imperative is a command, and they abbreviate it IMP, imperative. And then exclamatory shows strong feelings. It's an exclamation. And we do EXC for that, okay? All right, so those are our codes that we're gonna use when we're writing down our answers. Okay, so let's look at number 1. I'm gonna move this. There we go. That way we can see our code box and our questions. All right, number 1. Many people think Japan never had castles. All right, now they want us to label it and put the punctuation at the end. Okay, so Many people think Japan never had castles. Let's kind of cross off what it can't be. Am I asking a question? Many people think Japan never had castles. No, I'm not asking. Do people think? Why do people think? No, I'm not asking. Am I excited? Am I like shouting that out? Many people think Japan never had castles. No. So now we're left with the two, declarative or imperative. Am I giving a command or am I just making a statement telling you something? Yeah, I'm just making a statement. Excuse me. I'm just telling you what people think in Japan, but I'm not yelling it. I'm not ordering someone around, right? So I'm just going to put DEC, declarative. That's a statement. Many people think Japan never had castles. What do we put after a declarative sentence? That's right, we put a period. And when we put a period, make sure your period is dark enough that I can see it. Don't do it so light that it's just a ting, but don't make it like this big, huge bullet. You know, sometimes kids make it crazy big. Sometimes they do it teeny tiny light and I can't even see it. So try to make it just a normal size period. Okay, let's look at number 2. But long ago, there were about 40,000 castles in Japan. So we're learning about castles in Japan, I guess, on this page. Okay, so what do we think there? Yeah, it's just another statement. It's not asking us anything. It's not giving a command. It's just telling us. Many people think Japan never had castles, but long ago, there were about 40,000 castles in Japan. Okay, so that's pretty cool. There were 40,000 castles in Japan. So we're going to put declarative and period again. Those ones match. All right, let's try the next one. See if it's another declarative. Why did they build castles in Japan? You can kind of tell how I read it, right? What kind of sentence is that, guys? Is it declarative? Is it giving us a statement? No, it's asking us a question, right? Why did Japan build castles in Japan? Why did they? Who remembers our trick for question? I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, question, right? Okay, so this is our interrogative. It's asking a question, interrogative. Now, do I put a period after interrogative? No, I put a question mark. Good job, you guys. Once again, make sure your question mark, the little dot isn't gigantic and isn't teeny tiny. Make it medium. Okay, let's go to number 4. Go to the library to find out. Is that asking you, will you go to the library? Go to the library and find out. Yeah, it's a command. It's ordering us to do something. So what is the command? I say imperative, you say command. Imperative, command, imperative, command. All right, imperative. So imperative is my trick, or my abbreviation, IMP is how I'm gonna write that. Okay, now so on this one, sometimes imperatives can have exclamation points if you're yelling it, like, move out of the way, right? If something's gonna hit you or something. But go to the library to find out, do you think they're yelling that? No. So we're just gonna put a period there. Go to the library and find out. Okay, let's read what we have so far. The first 2 were statements. The second one was an interrogative, and the last one was imperative. Let's see. Many people think Japan never had castles, but long ago, there were about 40,000 castles in Japan. Why did they build castles in Japan? Go to the library to find out. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Ask the librarian for a book about Japan. Okay, what is that? Is that a statement? Is that telling us something? Ask the librarian for a book about Japan. It's not declarative. It's another imperative. It's another command. I say imperative, you say command. Imperative, command. imperative, command. What's it telling us to do now? First, it told us to go to the library. Now it's telling us to ask the librarian. Guys, both of these words, go and ask, are actions. If a sentence starts with an action, it's imperative, okay? Because it's like giving you an order to do that action. Okay, so we're gonna write imperative, I-M-P, and I'm not yelling it, so we're just gonna put a period. All right, let's look at number 6. Today, only 12 of the original castles remain. So wow, out of 40,000, only 12 remain of the original castles. Today, only 12 of the original castles remain. Are they ordering us there? Is today an action? Are they asking us a question, interrogative? Are they excited? Today, only 12 of the original castles remain. No, probably not. Yeah, it's just declarative. It's just telling us a fact. It's telling us a statement and some information. Today, only 12 of the original castles remain. What goes at the end of declarative? Period. So guys, look, so far they've all been periods, except the only one was the question mark because interrogative is question. Okay, let's look at number 7. What beautiful castles they are. Do you remember this one? Yes, see if you can see my blue up here on the screen. If a sentence starts with how or what, and it's not asking a question, it's gonna be exclamatory. What beautiful castles they are. They're not saying, what are the castles? What makes the castles beautiful? It's not asking me, I don't need to respond. It's just showing excitement, strong feelings. What beautiful castles they are. And it's kind of that old-fashioned language. Okay, so we're gonna put exclamatory, and what do we do with exclamatory? I say exclamatory, you say feeling. If we have strong feelings, that's right, we need an exclamation point. All right, good job, you guys. All right, so let's go down to this next part. We are gonna take these sentences and we're gonna reverse them. So we're gonna change the first sentence into a question, and we're gonna change the second sentence into a statement, okay? All right, so let's go to number 8. Many castles are in ruins. Okay, so here's a little hint. We wanna look for the action or the linking verb in the sentence, and if we put that first, we can turn it into a question. It's kind of a cool trick, okay? So many Japanese castles are in ruins. Do you guys see a linking verb there? Is, are, was, were, have, has, had, am, will. Are is our linking verb there. If I put are in the front, watch how it makes it a question. Are many Japanese castles in ruins? Did you see that? And I didn't even change any of the words. I just put are in the front. Many castles are in ruins. Are many Japanese castles in ruins? Let's see if it works for other sentences. What if I said, the dog is black? Let's put is in the front. Is the dog black? It worked. Let's see. Okay, I am 43 years old. Let's put am in the front. Am I 43 years old? See how it does that? So if you take the linking verb, put it in the front, it actually makes it into a question. Okay, so let's take our are, put it in the front. And since many is not my first word, I got a lowercase many. Japanese will stay capital because it's capitalized because it's the name of the people who live in Japan. Are many Japanese castles in ruins? And so I didn't put are. See how I took the are out because I moved it to the front? So I moved it up here is what I did. Are many Japanese castles in ruins? Okay, so now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to take the question word at the front and move it somewhere in the sentence to make it make sense. Okay, so let's see. Have some of the castles been rebuilt? That's a question. Now let's tell us, take have out. So let's start with some. Some have of the castles been rebuilt? That sounds weird. Some of the have castles have been rebuilt. Well, I'm kind of giving it away here because my brain is fixing it. Some of the castles have been rebuilt. Yes, that sounds good. Okay, so I'm going to take off have and I'm going to slip it in right here. And now I'm just telling you, instead of asking, have some of the castles been rebuilt? I'm going to tell you, some of the castles have been rebuilt. And see how we're changing an interrogative sentence into a telling, a declarative? Some of the castles have been rebuilt. Period. Because now it's not a question, now it's a declarative statement. Okay, that's probably the trickiest part. I am going to give you help with that on the back, but there are 2 of these on the back. Those of you who like a challenge, maybe do those now because this is fresh in your head and I just taught it. So let me show you that part on the back. It's right here. If you want to try that right now. So the first one is, the Hakone Castle has many windows. Now they want you to make that into a question. So you have to find the linking or helping verb and put it at the front. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at my answer guide here because I was looking at it, I'm like, this sounds a little weird. I'm going to tell you on this one, this is the helping word or the linking verb, has, but if I put in the front, has the Hakone Castle many windows, it sounds kind of weird. So think if you can think of another word that you could put at the front besides has to ask if the Hakone Castle has many windows. Well, this is a challenge, so we'll see how you guys do. The second one, let's look at that. Does the Hakone Castle have a thick wall? Now they want you to tell me. So we're going to take this one I think will work. Take does off and put it somewhere in the sentence. Or you can change it slightly. Okay, those are challenges, I know. We'll see how you guys do, and then I'll show you guys the answers at the end. Okay, all right. So if you want to pause and try that right now, you can. I'm going to go up here to the top, guys. So when you're ready, push play. Okay, this part is the same as the front, okay? So you're going to either write declarative, DEC, if it's just telling you information, if it's just making a statement, okay? There's no question, there's no excitement, there's no command. It's just telling you a fact, okay? So if a sentence is just telling you a fact, write declarative. If you read it and it's asking you something, like you feel like you want to answer it, you're going to write interrogative. This is our question, okay? If you read it and it sounds like it's ordering you around or it starts with an action, remember imperative sentences: close your door, open the door, clean your room, empty the trash. All those words are actions. So if you see an action at the front, or it's requesting you or asking you to do something, like telling you to do something, like giving you an order or a command, then you're going to put imperative. If it's showing strong feeling, or if it's talking that old-fashioned language, what a wonderful hat you're wearing. How interesting that building is. then you're going to put exclamation. Okay? Try these by yourself or with an adult. A lot of you sit down with mom and dad and do this. This would be a good one to kind of talk it out, going through the 4 to try to decide which one is which, okay? And then when you're finished, I am going to give you the answers, but I want you to try first because it really helps me to see which ones are tricky and which ones you guys understand well, because a lot of times it'll be like everyone missed number 7 or everyone missed number 6. So take your time and do these. Any ones you miss, I want you to circle, and when we get together and talk next time, we'll go over these, okay? And I'm gonna do 3 videos next week because next week we are having our test in language, okay? So we'll do our paper, we'll do a review day next week, and we'll do the test next Thursday, all right? So a week from today. All right, guys, go ahead and try these. Pause the video, and then I'll show you the answers. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going down. All right, so here is 1 through 10. Check those carefully. See if you put them all correct. There were 2 imperatives, 6 and 10. 6 is just ordering you. Look at the castle's towers. Look at them, like do it, right? The number 10 is a kind of like a polite way. Please take me to see this interesting castle. But a lot of times when a word starts with please, that's a hint that it's going to be imperative. Please help me do this. Please tie your shoes. Please say you're sorry, right? Those are all commands. I'm just saying it in a nice way with please in front. Okay, if you need more time, pause the video and check those out. And then these were the answers for 11 and 12. Now, see how it says possible answers given, because you could have more than one right answer. So when I talk with you, if yours doesn't match this, it's okay as long as it makes sense. So they changed the word has to does in number 11. Does the Hakone Castle have many windows? Instead of has the Hakone Castle many windows? That sounds weird. And then on number 12, they actually took out does completely. I think you could have left it in. So if anyone wrote the Hakone Castle does have a thick wall, I think that's great. They put the Hakone Castle has a thick wall. So instead of having does have, they just took out does have and just put has. So either way would be correct. All right, and then down here, write one sentence that gives information about castles. Change your sentence so that it asks a question. So you have to do a telling and then flip it and then ask it. Or you could ask it and then tell it, either way, okay? All right, and then you can share that with me next time we talk. Okay, friends? All right, well, that is our declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, imperative lesson. We'll keep practicing that, guys. But I know it's the same sentences, just different names. So if you can remember the old name and try to tie that in, so we can do it one more time if you want. I say declarative, you say statement, declarative, statement, declarative, statement. I say interrogative, you say question, interrogative, question, interrogative, question. I say imperative, you say command, imperative, command, imperative, command. Last one, I say exclamatory, you say feeling, exclamatory, feeling, exclamatory, feeling. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday and tomorrow's Mother's Tea. So I'm so excited to get to do our little at-home version of Mother's Tea, but it's gonna be special. I can't wait. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk with you soon. All right, bye-bye.